So I'm thinking about a strategy for Andrew Yang in these upcoming July debates, and you know, with a lot of candidates, their strategy to go after other people and certain candidates, and uh, whatever their stances are and whatnot, criticize them, rake them over the coals and whatnot, play dirty politics, and just all these political games. And you know what? Andrew Yang needs to stay away from all of it because number one, no one's going to be going after Andrew Yang. There's no political equity in going after someone who has probably the least amount of name recognition, nationally on that stage, or at least one of them. So going after Andrew Yang isn't a viable option for a lot of candidates. Okay, so he's kind of safe in a way to just have his own space, and it should be nothing but Andrew Yang focusing on the policies that America needs to hear about. Okay, to hear about universal basic income, to hear his stance on Medicare for all, to hear his stance on the human-centered economy. Oh my God, if he gets the human-centered economy out there, it's going to blow so many minds. Nobody has heard GDP framed this way before. Um, you know, all candidates talk about market politics. It's just part of the everyday politics in America. But no one has heard of human-centered economies before, where there's a reframing of GDP, and we start putting GDP where the market doesn't value work. That's going to go over so well, and that's the great thing about Andrew Yang being a no-namer. He just has to get those words out of his mouth clearly. That's all he has to do, is come across with a clean message and open up his policy set, and that's it. So this should be somewhat easier for Andrew Yang than other candidates who have to play politics, who have to go after other candidates in a very strategic way. And it's almost silly and comical, and sometimes dirty. Andrew Yang doesn't even have to play with all that stuff. He just has to focus on his policy sets, and America is going to be like, whoa, I've never heard of universal basic income. Or I've never heard universal basic income framed this way or drawn up this way. I've never heard of democracy dollars. I've never heard of, expanding the Supreme Court or what other policies Andrew Yang has, because he has close to 100, if not more than 100. So he's no one-trick pony, that's for sure. But all he's got to do is just talk. There's nothing really strategic to happen here for Andrew Yang other than opening up his mouth and speaking his policy set. It really is that simple for Andrew Yang, and I would say he's in his own lane, and he's got it better than a lot of candidates who have to play these sleazy political games. All he's got to do is talk about human-centered economy. If he just says human-centered economy, the Google machine is going to be on fire. This is a layup for Andrew Yang, as long as his mic's on, right? Okay? I mean, he just has to talk his policy sets, and it's going to be good for him. So I'm optimistic that, things are going to go well for him. Josh from New Progressive Voice, me and him were talking earlier, and he said the only deterrent to Andrew Yang will be the media. So I think CNN is hosting the July debates. He was saying if anything happens there, it's going to be from their disingenuous framing. If they try to come at Andrew Yang in a very, a very greasy way, and just frame him in this disingenuous light, maybe they'll bring up just something ridiculous like circumcision or some obtuse stance he had or a conversation he had or just something to throw, a monkey wrench in the works. That's pretty much Andrew Yang's biggest obstacle for the July debates is, dodging media bias and disingenuous media framing. So it's in the bag, and we're going to secure that bag. He's got this. He's got this. He's so got this. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Stop! All right. All right, I think I'm done here. Let me know what you guys think. Like, share, subscribe, click the bell so you never miss another video notification. I will talk to you guys soon.